Hi everybody, good evening. Welcome to Live After 5. It's Friday, so just jumped on this evening. This week I have done a lot of viewings with some prospective people that would be investors, so buying their first investment property. All excited, but there's a few key things to consider, which I'm going to share with you, things I've learned over time if you're considering investing in a property, and especially if you're a first-time investor, you haven't done this before. Number one, get proper advice from a tax consultant or an accountant. Find out what your tax position is. If you get a rental income, may be subject to taxes depending what rate you're on. There are avenues that some people take, like putting, the rent into their pension fund. Again, that's something to consider. It can be more tax efficient. Again, you need proper advice of a proper financial advisor about all of this, because it can be a bit of a minefield. Then next off, if you are arranging to go view properties, so you'll see some properties up that might be suitable for investment. Everyone is busy. Before you take time off work or travel somewhere, find out, has the property, number one, check the air code and then put it into the RPZ calculator, check if it's in a rent pressure zone. If it is in a rent pressure zone, find out before you arrange to view the property what the last rent was, because if the property's been rented anytime in the last 2 years, you have to honour that rent, even though you might be a new landlord and you have a brand new tenant. Even if you paint the property, put in a new kitchen, everything, you still have to honour the last rent, maybe with a possibility of charging an additional 2% if that's what market conditions are like in the area you're investing in. The next thing is, if you are considering buying an apartment in an apartment block, it's quite easy, to paint an apartment, change a kitchen, all that. But a key thing about buying in apartment blocks is you're not just buying an apartment, you're buying into a community which involves other owners. So it's really important to understand the position of the management company. Are people paying fees? Are they building up a sinking fund for any big eventual repairs that might be required in that development? Good idea to find out if there's owner occupiers, living in the building. Are they involved on the management committee? That'll give you a good sense of the property, and do kind of have a walk around the common areas as well while you're there. Because as I said, you're not just buying an apartment, you're actually buying into a community, into the building. You become a member of the management company, which is a separate legal entity. And then find out how it's being managed. Is it managed by a local agent? Is there a committee of owners? Ask all those questions. Get a good flavour of what's going on. It's also good to speak to tenants and other owners in these apartment buildings and ask them what it's like living there. That can give you a good sense as well. So my other tip then is, if you're looking to invest in a property, is obviously work out the rent, work out your gross yield, and know what level you're happy to invest in. Have a look at the BER report. I suppose not all things are equal. The BER report gives energy rating. It shows where you can improve efficiencies. You can go for some easy wins. If you buy a property that needs some energy matters improved, such as maybe getting walls pumped, if it's a house and it has cavity walls, getting the attic insulated. Sometimes, upgrading the storage heaters can make a big difference. Some properties for sale have, the older original storage heaters. They've probably gone past their sell-by date, not entirely efficient anymore. You can put in new heaters, and it doesn't involve drilling anything out, because there's always an electrical supply there from the old heater. They just need to be popped in the wall and wired in or plugged in, and they're much more energy efficient. They can have thermostats in them and everything like that. So that will help the tenant control the heating better, heat the property properly, and then that would reduce the risk, I suppose, of getting mold or mildew if which might occur when you've got older inefficient heating. So I hope that helps everybody out. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in this evening.